Alabama's WVUA News at 6 with your award-winning news team, Lynn Brooks, Philip Coleman, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Philip Coleman. Lynn Brooks has the evening off. With just a few weeks left for summer, you may be trying to squeeze in one last trip to your favorite destination. But while loading up the car, it's important to remember the safety of your home and your belongings that you're leaving behind inside. WVUA's Jennifer Edwards has some advice on how to keep your home safe while you're away.
According to Sergeant Brent Blankley with the Tuscaloosa Police Department, this is the time of the year when they see the most burglaries.
People know that, they're out of town. Even people posting on Facebook that they're gone or social media that they're gone. It's just an obvious sign that people aren't there.
Blankley says it's simple things, like making sure your doors and windows are locked, that could keep your belongings safe.
When you have a deadbolt, it makes it harder for an intruder to get into your house. Not saying it's not impossible to do that, but it does take more time, effort, and normally makes more noise. Alarms are another great thing. Anytime you have an alarm that's monitored, we're going to show up as soon as we get that alarm. If the alarm's not monitored, it'll still make enough noise that hopefully the intruder will leave.
Owner of Jackson Security Services, Chuck Turner, says with technology advancing each day, so are security systems.
We have glass break sensors that sense the audio of a glass being broken. We have items that can be accessed on the internet, accessed on your iPhone, on your iPad, or those types of things.
According to Turner, this type of camera security system was typically used for commercial purposes. But he says with new technology, it's being used more and more in residential properties.
People buy camera systems to be able to do surveillance of the property, to be able to watch inside and outside their home, watch their pool, their cars, their kids, anybody that may be in the home.
Blankley also recommends getting to know your neighbors and always leaving a light on. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Jennifer Edwards, WVUA News.
And Blankley also recommends having your expensive belongings engraved. That can be used as identification if your stolen items are later sold. Now, on your home team crime watch, a twist in the West Alabama church arson case. Convicted arsonist Russell DeBusk has been granted early release from federal prison. According to Bibb County District Attorney Michael Jackson, Circuit Judge Marvin Wiggins granted an early release for DeBusk. As you may recall, back during the year 2006, DeBusk was one of 3 men convicted for setting fires at 5 rural churches in West Alabama. D.A. Jackson told us he is outraged at this decision and has no idea why this happened. And Jackson says he does not know when DeBusk will go free. And state prison officials told us their records show that DeBusk has not yet been released. Also on your crime watch, police say John Tyrone White of Tuscaloosa is charged with rape and being held on $60,000 bond. Authorities say this happened around 6 o'clock on the morning of Tuesday, July the 10th. Officials say the victim was walking along the 2900 block of 25th Street to a friend's house when the suspect allegedly dragged her behind the house and raped her. According to police, the suspect and the victim knew each other. Now, in other news, even though we have seen some rain recently, U.S. officials say about half of Alabama is under a drought emergency. According to Governor Robert Bentley's office, this declaration means farmers in 33 counties can qualify for low-interest federal loans. Also, 12 contiguous counties may qualify, and in West Alabama, that includes Tuscaloosa and Hale counties. And officials say farmers may contact their local farmer service agency for more information, and they have 8 months to apply for those loans. Now, the University of Alabama will soon come under new leadership. Last Wednesday, the University Board of Trustees named Dr. Guy Bailey as the next president. Tonight, we take a closer look at who this new man in charge is. As you may recall, Dr. Bailey is a native of Montgomery and a 2-time graduate of the Capstone. Bailey has had a long career in higher education, serving in many different roles, including teacher, and he is currently the president at Texas Tech, where he has served there since the year 2008. Now, during that time, he helped Texas Tech grow to around 32,000 students, which is a similar size to the University of Alabama. Now, when asked why he wanted to leave Texas Tech and return to Alabama, this is what Dr. Bailey had to say.
We know we're leaving a great opportunity here in a place we really love, but we're also going to another great opportunity. They've had the same kind of growth that we've had, and they're well positioned just like we are. And then my family is there, and I've lived away from my family for a long time now. And I have a 3-year-old grandson, and when the grandkids start, you know, pretty hard to stay away.
And Dr. Bailey is set to become the U of A president in September. Now, on your Health Watch, blood donations from homosexual men. As blood donations decrease, some are wondering if the ban on blood donations from gay men should be lifted. As we have reported, during the month of June, donations were down more than 10% all across the USA. But since the 1980s, gay men have not been allowed to donate blood. But last month, a group of lawmakers asked federal health officials to do a study that could eventually lead to the ban being lifted. Evan Duffy with the Alabama Red Cross told us everyone should be treated with fairness, but their number one priority always will be safety.
At the same time, you know, the Red Cross carries its priorities of protecting the safety of our volunteer donors, those who come out and give that gift of life for others, and ultimately the folks who are the end users of that unit of blood.
And experts say that scientists can now screen for most instances of HIV within days of the infection occurring within an individual, and the nation's blood banks have called a lifetime ban medically and scientifically unwarranted. Now, on a much lighter note, Bama fever is coming to the Tide Nation with only 45 days left until kickoff. Right now, you're looking live at the home of the Crimson Tide, Bryant-Denny Stadium. The first game of the season will be an away game this year, and it's scheduled for Saturday, September the 1st. Coach Nick Saban and the Tide will take on Michigan in Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. But you don't have to wait all the way until then to have your football fix. The unofficial start of the football season kicks off tomorrow at the SEC Media Days in Hoover, Alabama. This week, you will hear from all the SEC coaches about the upcoming season, including, of course, Crimson Tide head coach Nick Saban. And your home team will have all the action covered. Gary Harris, John Huddleston, and Todd Foyer will bring you all the latest from the SEC Media Days with special coverage right here on WVUA, starting on tomorrow. Now, still to come here on the news at 6. A lot of businesses give their employees paid vacation time, but one company is taking that perk another step further. Find out how coming up.
And coming up in home team weather, we're looking live at our Tuscaloosa Tower camera. The picture there behind me, we're looking at a few cloud cover moving into parts of West Alabama. But what about the chance of rain out there? And how about your all important weekend forecast weather straight ahead? Stay with us.